All right.
After a long Friday pod.
Yeah, long Friday pod.
I went home. I got in bed. I laid down. I put my phone on the little holder thingamajiggy that I really liked. I guess the little things in life. That shit that just hold
like
your
that
phone.
right there?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
That shit on
like them little
on your
shits.
end table
Nice
while
thing,
you
yeah.
in bed. That shit go. And Royce was on live, and I click on Royce's live because I'm a dick, and I want to see how my friend is handling all this fucking Slaughterhouse bullshit that's going on.
Right.
And I cut it on, and sure enough,
jumped your hot ass right in the conversation.
No. See? Wrong assumption on Joe. Painting me wrong. I was home laying down. I clicked on his live. The conversation got where it needed to be. And he said, "Oh, Joe in here." Get my guy Joe on here. And that's my brother. Sorry. That's my brother. My brother called me. I'm coming. So I click on the thingamajiggy, and now I'm there from the comfort of my bed. And we shooting the shit.
It was all fairly peaceful until Joel entered the chat. And that's when things got...
And I saw him come in. But I mean, I didn't think that we were inviting him up to speak. Because he just put a whole album. He's putting a whole album out where he's sharing his truth. I thought this was our truth time. When do I get some truth? When I get my truth, niggas just say, yo, he's lying.
Stay there. So when you get your truth, niggas gonna still think you lying. So where's the benefit in you sharing your truth? If you still gonna be the villain? Because for some people, for a percentage, you're not gonna be the villain?
Yeah.
Joe's always going to be the
Gotcha.
villain.
For a small percentage, I won't be.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But, yeah, I guess that's weird. Comes back to our Tory Lanez conversation. Hey, the judge, the lawyer, everybody made you shut up for 2 years. You've been reading. You've been consuming all this shit. It's tough. That's all. It's just tough. It's tough when you just read bullshit. So you address it, and then in hindsight, you see the people you were addressing it to, and you be like, I should have just shut the fuck up. So that's what happened. So Joel comes on. Royce says, yo, you want Joel to come up? Sure, I'll talk to fucking Joel. But that didn't go the greatest.
No, it did not go well.
That didn't go the greatest.
It didn't. It didn't go the greatest. I was watching. I was home. When I clicked, I was just on Instagram and I saw it said Royce was live.
My group chat started going crazy.
I just was like, oh shit, let me see what Royce talking about. I click it and I see Royce and Joe. I immediately was like, put the face palm shit in there. Like, yo, I don't even know what they was talking about at the moment.
It don't matter. That's like raid and combat.
And we was down here listening to Infamous and shit before you left, so
Oh,
he had a little
yeah.
extra, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I used to
Battle
heard
rap.
that. We'll talk about it later. Go ahead. That was the topic. That was the topic that we were running from.
Yeah.
But go ahead. It's like, that's fine.
But
We'll talk Slaughterhouse for now.
Saw that and I was just like, come on, dogs, please don't. That's all I said, please don't. But they did.
They did.
Then I saw Joel pop in and they invited him up and this does not need to happen in front of the fans, but it did.
Then there was another invitation.
See what I mean? This didn't need to happen in front of the fans. Well, yeah, that's why everyone should keep their truth to their fucking self. Everybody has a truth.
No, my thing is if it's going to happen to the fans, we don't got to argue. Let's just sit here and state factual information. Don't bounce around. Don't say blanket shit. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. You asking for a lot when people emotion shit be into it.
Yeah.
I get it.
What I will say is that 4 grown men should be able to fucking resolve whatever the hell this is.
I agree.
Especially
100%.
when you don't really know what it is. I think I understand everybody's position. Definitely mine and Royce's. But yo, I'll say it here and I'll say it again. In spite of y'all's mature friend advice, the one thing that'll do it for me is when I feel like and it's confirmed that I'm being taken advantage of. Like when I have that in my head. I think that conversation could have went a lot better too. But the gall and the audacity to ask me to promote something that I deem to be a fucking slap in the face, and for you not to even know that this is a slap in the face, yeah, that was enough for me. That was enough for me. But
that's the part that got taken out of context because everyone thought that
Not
you
just
said
that. I think
SMD. You said that project can SMD.
I think the album, and I'm not friends with Joel Ortiz. You know, I say hi to him. I'm not friends with Crook. If I see him, I say hi to him. I think that it's gonna be some stuff in there that's gonna be more mushy. I don't think the whole album gonna be that.
I hope not.
I think the album was that
end on a high note.
I think the album is that as a marketing ploy to sell the album or to get listeners. Again, I don't know them. I wasn't in the booth. I think the album is going to have a whole bunch of my brotherhood, I miss my brotherhood type of shit in there.
I hope so.
But I think it was a questionable thing to roll out that way. That's why I told Joe to be quiet. Like, yo, you feed the fire when you antagonize a situation. You get what I'm saying?
Well, when you respond to a situation, you just add to gray area, right? Like in that live, I said a few things. All of them were misconstrued. So what I will address is some of that. I said, yo, I'm bigger than all the shit y'all doing. And I stand by that, yo.
That's true.
It is a fact. That's why. And that's not a shot at anybody.
I know, but it was taken like the things that I'm doing are much bigger than the things that you're doing. And that's not what I meant. What I meant was I am much bigger than selling my man out for a check. That will never happen. It just won't happen. How that's not, Royce, same thing. I know there's people out there that'll do it, but that just won't never be viewed as honorable or respectful from me, even if we was tight.
Let me ask you a question. Even if
So I'm bigger than that.
But even in how it was construed,
I'm bigger than that.
If we want to really be honest in how it was presented.
By whom?
Me.
Joe.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to share what the bag was that was in question or no?
Well, I don't know. Oh, that was in question?
Yeah. When they said, yo, we brought the big bag to the table.
Yo, even that is just more sharing my truth bullshit.
No, but no.
I can't say because it would just be jargon.
If you want to give a nominal amount on what the check was, then it becomes a relative thing where because they said, yo, it was a bigger bag than we've ever seen. But we haven't recorded in 10 years. In 10 years, your life has changed drastically. Right? So what you might have got out of bed for 10 years ago might not move mountains today.
Right.
That's just life. That's just how life works.
That's true.
The shit that I did, or I own a construction company. What I did a bathroom for 10 years ago, a nigga, I'm gonna get mad at you if you ask me to do a bathroom for that today. It's just life. Right. It's just how life works.
You're on a different level.
We on a different level than what I was doing 10 years ago. Right? So
or not.
But for Joe to say, yo, I'm bigger than that today, that might be honest. It might not. People might not. You sound privileged and you sound like a classist.
Well, that's why there was a better way to say what the point was, which was, I'm built differently. Like my compass, it wouldn't allow me to look at somebody as a man.
Yeah, I don't think he was talking about monetarily.
I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I just wouldn't be able to sleep if I did that. How can I look at Royce? Like Crook running around right now with this bullshit that he's saying. Joe wanted more money for his show because he did Love and Hip Hop. Or Joe wanted more money than the rest of the group because he was on TV. Or because he felt he was bigger. Like there is a narrative being painted. And you see these things and you're like, wait, what are you talking about? Like that's the biggest crock of shit I ever heard. Not because it's wrong. Slow down, see? Not because that's wrong. Time inventory goes a little different. Groups go through it. Hey, I want to negotiate separately from the group. That's not a slight.
We just talked about that when we talked about the Fugees reunion.
Yeah.
We had the same conversation.
They didn't negotiate as the Fugees, I bet. I put all my poker chips to the table. See, that could happen. Technically, it could be right even. But how can I look at my nigga in the face and do some shit like that? I couldn't. That's for everybody to weigh on their own. I couldn't look at Royce knowing I sent my lawyer or I sent my representation, my management, to go demand for a third of the bag and y'all split what? That sounds nuts. You know what the talk out there is? Oh no, that sounds like Joe. He did that. You know why that is? Because I have good people and mature people around me, so every time some shit happen, it's chill, Joe. Don't say a word, Joe.
But that's not
Let it go, Joe.
That's not why I think that's happening. I think what the reason for that happening is what happened with and y'all never really gave clarity and full transparency on what took place. So now when you don't do that, it leaves for the doubt.
No, what happened is
he
never gave his.
No,
Like,
no, that's what I'm saying. No, that's
it's
what
not
I'm
y'all.
saying.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
Per issues advice too.
No,
right?
I agree with you.
Both, yeah.
Like I could have came in here and easily, quickly dispelled Joe was stealing from anybody.
No, I'm not disagreeing. What I'm saying is, had y'all really ironed it out, then it would have been ironed out. After the fact, once me and Ice got on the pod, I persuaded you against it because them niggas is not here now to have that conversation and defend themselves for y'all to iron out what really took place. If y'all wanted to publicly let it go, y'all could have let it go with all three of y'all publicly.
All right. See, now you saying, I understand what you're saying. But that's different than what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when people get in their fucking feelings about things, they just make very bold accusatory remarks that are just left to exist. We didn't never have to get on the same page. That's totally different from he's a thief, he stole.
Well, we're not saying get on the same page. If all of y'all were to address it together,
yes, then you could get
y'all could leave and never be on the same page.
Yeah, true.
But all of y'all got y'all shit out.
Yes,
together. That's kind of what I was saying when I first saw you and Royce on there. I'm like, why they do? If y'all when it first popped off, I asked you first question. When was the last time all four of y'all got on the phone? Just the four of y'all. That was the very first thing I asked you. I said, was anything resolved? And is there a chance that y'all could resolve it if y'all talk now? And I'm like, well, if not, what's the point?
What's the point of being on a live with Joel?
Because now all you're doing is just making matters worse.
As logical, rational, intelligent men. Because the fact of the matter is, all four of y'all niggas are intelligent. Mm-hmm. All four of you niggas are intelligent. All four of you niggas have an amazing verbal ability. So therefore, if y'all can't do it behind the scenes with any confidence, what the fuck you think is going to manifest itself in the public eye?
In real time, at that.
Because now niggas' egos got to get into it for the public. If y'all couldn't do it behind closed doors with four grown, intelligent men and come to some resolution or some proper resolve, what do you think is going to happen when you put bitches, ego, the industry, and all of that shit on a platform? I wasn't even...
just pay it up, yo.
Yo, just pay what do you think is going to happen when that takes place? Y'all never going to get to a resolution because no honesty is going to come from that. Because everybody going to still have to maintain their side for the public. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I say it's futile to do on a public forum. You get what I'm saying? But now you're viewed in a bad light because one, you're loud, one, you're boisterous and you're brash at times.
I get off it quick.
Yeah,
I get off it.
So that's what comes with that. But then again, because you haven't addressed and clarified other issues that still remain lingering, now it's, oh, yeah, that nigga a thief. He gonna do XYZ. Oh, yeah, nigga a piece of shit. He gonna do XYZ. Yo, his business acumen sucks. He's gonna do XYZ. That's the stamp that you have.
Thank you.
I agree with you. But you didn't dispel that myth by what happened over the weekend. It's still floating. Same shit. Same.
It ain't gonna help it. It's gonna hurt it.
What dispelled the myth before that?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
So that's
so that's kind of our point, though.
If you would have got on there with Joel and Royce, and y'all would have came to some clarity.
My point is, you do nothing, it don't dispel the myth. You do something, it don't dispel the myth.
No,
but you make it worse.
No, you can do it differently.
You can make it worse.
Y'all could have got to some truths on that live. I watched it for a little while. Y'all niggas could have got to some truths, and y'all didn't. Because the emotional shit started to take place. When you get emotional, that's why lawyers be chilling. Sir, could you please answer the question? Ma'am, could you please answer the question? When the yelling and the screaming and all of that takes place, we losing track of factual data.
Royce even said it. He's like, we're not getting anywhere with this. Because at that point, it was emotional. Mm-hmm. Once emotions take over, we're not thinking logically. We're not even trying to get a resolution.
No resolution is coming. I'ma just say, yo, y'all niggas lying. We ain't lying. Y'all niggas lying. Yes, y'all niggas is lying. Da 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 da. Nothing is coming to the forefront in the fact of clarification. That's the goal, in my opinion. Some resolution. You can only get a resolution once we clarify the facts.
I think me and Royce are pretty clear.
True. Y'all are clear.
I think we are.
I think you and Royce were clear before going on live.
Exactly. Crook and Joel feel like they
were clear in their stance.
Right? Cool. So now the only thing that could potentially bring y'all closer together is a rational, logical conversation amongst four intellectual men on facts. Fuck feelings.
Why do you keep assuming that people are trying to get closer together?
Or not.
Okay.
Like I said, you don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to
You don't
come
have
to.
to
It
do
could be a
that.
resolution that this is it. It's done.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
So when I say closer, I mean
And that
like,
might not look good, right? All the time.
no, it don't. But y'all can still do it with some dignity and some class and some sophistication to where, that's your stance? Cool. My stance is over here. Good luck to you, my brother. Love you. Wish you the best. And I'm gone. And vice versa.
I tried to end that way, by the way. I tried to end with y'all wish you the best.
It wasn't sincere.
It was sincere. But I'm not going to wish you the best in your Joe attack.
True.
Or you sharing your truth.
But that's what I'm saying. That's
all.
why I couldn't
It
have been
was
sincere from me.
It was
I
sincere
can't tell
from
no
me.
nigga I wish you the best that I feel. Not saying that this is what Joel's intent is, but a nigga that I feel is trying to paint a bad picture of me. I don't wish you success because your success means that you achieved that in painting a shitty picture of me.
Right.
I don't wish you success, and that's why I say it don't seem sincere.
No, or it mean you finally had to go sit somewhere and not be a lazy fuck and come up with something that could fucking gain some traction and momentum and get you where you needed to be. That's a broad statement. That's not directed toward Joel and Chris. That's a broad statement, but I feel like that a lot.
I still don't wish you success in that. If I'm
the
on the bad end of it,
If I got to be
I don't wish you.
No, but you wouldn't be on the. You're not on the bad end of that. See, that's what I'm saying. Like if Joel and Crook go make a group called Harder. That's the subgroup, and now you just banging out. Then you have a blast, and I
do that.
wish you the best for that.
Indeed.
You took time to think of something. You had to get a plan together. You had to try to make it work. You put this album together. You put some money together. Whatever you did, I support that. You sat down and tried to come up with something to
get to
further yourself.
True.
I don't think that exists when people are lazy. And y'all know my story is niggas fight with me and go do everything that they fought with me about after they fight with me. That's what I see. It happens all the time. So now you're having a Slaughterhouse fight, but you got a Slaughterhouse album coming. All right, Joe took his likeness, but we need Joe's likeness. Royce took his Royce is down with Joe. Damn, you must have thought that we was trapped. Wait, who said any of this, yo? Nobody said any of this. All niggas said was they was hurt, that this is the route you chose to take. That don't say that your album gonna be bad. That don't say that you saying the worst shit in the universe. That's saying that we recognize this differently than fans do. You could keep doing that whole, hey, this is for the fans, this is for closure. Nigga, you have been playing with the fans for the last 4 years with the whole, oh, I'm giving a countdown. They got 5 days to answer my email. Yo, I'm retired. These guys ain't trying to do it. This been 4 years of this. So this has been, when you watch somebody slowly lead up to whatever their grand act is, whatever the grand finale is of that, like, no, come on. I get y'all that when we talking about some shit on a pod, it's easy to just speak from the outside looking in and what's the right thing to do. But when this shit is a repetitive action from people that you care about and love, it affects you differently. Now I'm okay. It took me a week. Oh, you did that? It's fucked up. We back. Next pod, I was all right.
You was.
True.
But just had to see that and know that is the resolve for me. I'm okay. Like I said, I'm not mad at them niggas. I'm not mad. Do whatever you got to do. I know the premise that deal was taken under. Like, that ain't a fan thing. That ain't a friend thing. The people intimately involved know what that deal was based on. That's nasty to us.
Which is the defamation of you.
Not at first. The first shot is always, hey, let's pod together. When that don't work, it's, they gonna get the value out of it one way or the other. That don't work, oh, let's shit on them then. See, and that's why, listen, I know everybody say Joe's crazy. I be feeling so vindicated in hindsight. Like, I be feeling like I'm right. Hey, let's say that was for $30 million. You wanted me to do a project and devote my all to somebody that if I wasn't doing it, you'd use those same resources to kill me. No, that's not, I never want to bring food to that table. I appreciate God letting me know who those people are. So yeah, this is a fucking blessing in disguise. Are you shitting me? And I'm shocked that, well, not shocked, but it was important to learn that y'all would. And that's somewhere I think Royce's shock comes from. I don't want to speak for him, but it's like, damn, y'all know who that investor is, and y'all know what that investor is on, because we all know. And y'all still took that under the premise of this to do that to us. No, I don't expect fans to know that. Like, and you're right. You shouldn't be talking to fans. Joe said he's retired 90 times. See, shut up. Shut up.
But look what you just said.
But that's the
that part right there.
The fans that come in and say,
well, look, hold on.
Joe wouldn't take the deal.
Look,
Chris
Joe.
tried to wait. What?
But that's
Go ahead.
The
John
part
won't let me finish my fucking point.
Well, you cut me off first. But the part you was just saying about, you know who that investor is. You know this part. The fans don't know that.
true.
Yo,
so there's no point.
Me and Royce are never talking for the fans.
But y'all are talking in front of the fans. That's the point. You don't need to talk in front of the fans. It's not for them.
No. Or if you are on a live with Joel Ortiz, ask him that. Yo, dog, you doing that with them? Y'all felt that was okay to do with them?
Well, I was trying to get there. He was none the wiser. And when I saw how far from the wiser he was, I just abandoned the conversation.
See,
and even him saying,
you know what?
promote
this. We just debate or try to get to stuff differently. Cause I'm coming directly. Like, yo, let me ask you this. Boom. I want to get definitives. I don't want to get the open blanket nigga, did this happen? Did that happen? Yes or no? Cool. Yes. Next question. No. Next question. I want to get definitive so you can't now backtrack by giving me broad statements. You get what I'm saying? Like, yo, you said you bought the bottle at 10:15, right? Cool. 10:15. We're on the record at saying 10:15. You can't now come back 20 minutes later and say you bought the bottle at 7:30. It was still light outside. You can't do that. So I want to get no, it was the evening. No, nigga, narrow it down. Let's get a definitive answer on what's taking place, because now the investor becomes relevant. Now my decisions are based on y'all moves that y'all making. Now I'm justified in saying, yo, I ain't want to fuck with them niggas over there. You know I don't like them niggas over there, so why would I go over there and get a bag? That makes sense to the world. If you're trying to clarify it, it makes sense to the world. I ain't like these niggas because they grimy. I wasn't fucking with them, so that's why I ain't rock over there. It ain't that I ain't want to do a Slaughterhouse album. It's that I didn't want to fuck with them. If that's your narrative, I'm not saying that is your narrative, but if that's your narrative, that's okay to say. Yo, I don't fuck with them niggas. So no, I ain't fucking with y'all. They said that's what you said about Shady.
And if your response is, yeah, but this is the biggest bag that we've got, then I'm leaving that conversation.
Indeed. And I'm going to say, though, yo, cool. Y'all niggas have a blast. I'm not fucking with them niggas over there, the snakes in the grass. Y'all have a blast. I'm going to see y'all niggas on the other side. Good luck with that.
I think that's kind of what happened,
said
right?
that.
It's not what happened. Because people don't
said
know
that for years.
But people don't know that. That's what Joe's stance is.
But that's my argument the whole time, is that when people don't know, you're the bad guy. When people do know,
but when
you are the bad guy.
No, when they know, you take away the doubt. Because the public message is, let me tell you what the public narrative is. The public narrative is, yo, we was on Shady. Joe said he didn't want to be on Shady no more.
That is a fact.
Cool.
We could go through this and I'll tell you what's a fact and what's not a fact.
True.
Yo, that's a fact.
So now we bust our
early.
ass. We bust our ass to get off Shady.
No, not fact.
Cool.
No, see, that's not cool.
No, he's just wait. He's telling you what the narratives are. So you can say not fact, but he's still telling you. He's gonna give you the timeline of the narratives. You can say fact and not fact to each one.
I know. I'm gonna let him finish. I'm just pointing out to Ish
the shit that's not factual.
Go ahead.
Right? So this is the public narrative. We bust our ass to get off Shady. We finally get off Shady last year. We off Shady because Joe said he didn't want to fuck with Shady no more. So now we off Shady. This nigga still not rapping with us.
Unfact. More unfact. It's unfact. It's not true.
They not on y'all not on Shady no more? I mean, the group's not on Shady no more?
Go ahead with your timeline.
So they saying that they got off Shady around a year ago, roughly.
Yeah.
Joe still's not rapping. So to the people that are calling my phone, I said, nigga, do you know what Joe was last March? His whole entire empire is imploding. His podcast, which is the primary bread and butter in his life and in his family's life, his mother, his kids, his father, is upside down.
Yeah.
So y'all want him to stop doing that now to go rap for a bag that to him may not be the biggest bag. You want me to prioritize my life and my mom and my kids so that we could get in the booth and make a rap album. That's never gonna happen, my nigga. The public don't know that.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But that's the narrative that was painted. Yo, we got up from under Shady. Roy said he not rapping without Joe. Joe saying he ain't gonna rap. Joe's stance is, I never told you niggas I wasn't gonna rap. I said I was retired. I said I'm weighing it depending upon what the terms in the deal are. Mm. That's Joe's stance because he's my friend. I know that. I don't know that because I'm a fan. So all of those things are unbeknownst to the fans. So when you got on a thing with Joel, that's what the conversation should be. Not some real blanket emotional shit. That's what the conversation needs to be. Let's get down to the bottom of this, my nigga.
To the facts.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you I wasn't rapping no more? Yes or no? Answer it, a yes or a no, and then we move forward.
You said you retired a bunch of times.
Did I ever tell you I wasn't rapping? Yes or no? Did I ever tell Crook I wasn't rapping? Yes or no? And if both of them say no, then now Royce's point is made valid. And nobody answers it because the emotions start playing and the blanket statements start coming out. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And therefore, no clarity ever is present, and Joe goes on to be the bad guy. That's what I mean. Like, if we gonna kick it, we gonna kick it.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the bottom of it.
That's
for
why
real.
you need mediation at the end of the day.
Well, that's why you don't need to be on live doing it.
Or
to
that.
me.
Both.
Indeed.
Do
Have that
mediation
conversation.
That's why you don't need to make a tell-all album. See, but that's my problem. I keep hearing that happen. Like, it always starts at what Joe did.
Nah, I'm not saying it starts there. I'm just saying that what Joe did doesn't make it any better. You don't help the situation. So your act was pointless. It didn't help the situation. It didn't hurt. It was pointless.
Yeah, like people still believe what they believe because no clarity.
There was no clarity.
Yeah, but
if the three of y'all are
I
on
went
there,
to bed feeling lighter. I didn't give a fuck about what they believed. I felt a little better. I felt great. It wasn't until the next morning where all them fucking Joe told you I'll suck my dick. I was like, wow, you could say exactly what you want to say, and they still will hear what they want to hear.
Yeah.
Oh, it's pointless talking to you niggas. It's pointless. That's when I was like, all right, I'm done. And the niggas like, oh, Crook called Joe with the deal. Wait, do you hear yourself, Joe? Do you hear yourself? Well, no, you don't hear yourself because you have no idea what.
But when they don't have any.
Yeah, the fans don't know what's going on.
Yeah, if they don't know what's going on, y'all just up here talking in circles, they're going to make up their own narratives.
Indeed.
So if y'all not going to get and iron it out in front of the fans, there's no point in talking in front of the fans.
Hey, you fucking idiot fans. Should Crook be calling Joe with a deal? No, take your time. We'll allow the silence. We'll allow the silence for you to answer. Is that how you think the deals come through?
It's not professionally how the deals come through, but
I ain't get a deal like that unprofessionally. Where your man is, and this is how you know it's a crock of shit, and we can move on from this. His reply publicly with this for the fans bullshit is,
you want to finance the deal.
Joe had a problem with it. He wanted to know more about things in the deal. I told him you could put anything in the deal. Yo, do you hear yourself?
Yo, you stupid.
Well, and yeah, it would make sense for anybody in the group if they're able to finance it and believe in it, because that's what an investor is. Somebody that believes in what you're doing and is willing to finance it. Then yeah, shouldn't you find that financing in-house rather than go include a fifth or sixth person for an equity play?
I agree. Absolutely.
Because you're a smart man.
But see, so I just think that that's communication. If Parks and Corey and Ice...
No, it's not. It's different. It's a difference in ideology, and that part is okay, and that's why niggas like me need to shut the fuck up to niggas like them. Because there's nothing wrong with that. I tell a story all the time. Yo, Sin wanted to do Love and Hip Hop. I said, and I'm at an all-time high profile-wise. I said, yo, I could walk in any door and get I can shoot this shit myself and take our shit to any network and get us a play. And that's the big check. And she said, nigga, no. No, we could do this right now and this will come right now. Oh, Okay. That's it. It's just a difference in ideology and route.
Or information.
I said all that. Yo, fellas, we could do this way. Yo, technology is advanced. If we believe in it and it's us, let's just put it out. Why do we need a deal? See, nobody even asked this question. Why do you need a deal to make music? See, that's like the first thing that comes to my brain when it comes to music, but I've been fucked so much that I'm just trained differently. I got different information now. You don't need a deal to make music. The two don't really go hand in hand.
Especially when it's 4 different people with 4 different fan bases to a degree, even though there's some overlap. Like,
but again, I keep going back to this.
One person wants people to own. One person wants to sell something.
Cool. Conversation.
Everything else underneath that is just like extra talk, just for shits and giggles, jargon.
So let me ask you this:
shooting the shit.
So just because I don't know the
follow all this
workings of the music business. Mm-hmm. So let's just say somebody offered y'all $1,000. Y'all got to bust it down 4 ways. Yes.
Yeah.
In theory.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how it works. All right. So you finance it, which means you put up the $1,000.
Yeah.
And then we put it out. And whatever comes back gets bust down the same exact way that the major would have busted down.
Not major, but
No, because they were saying they had a bag to a major.
No, not a major. They never used the word major.
No, that's not true. But go ahead.
I haven't heard them use the word major, and I don't think they would because there's no major deal on the table for Slaughterhouse.
Gotcha. Okay.
This is an independent situation.
It could be Joe Blow LLC gave them y'all $1,000. Y'all bust it down, right? A quarter at a time,
mm-hmm.
right? Everybody get their piece.
Mm-hmm.
So in saying that you wanted to finance it, that means I'm willing to give you the same exact deal that Joe Blow was going to give you, but just out of my pocket.
And that's not what it means.
Oh, okay.
But it could mean that.
Gotcha.
It's the same as you take a loan from TD Bank, you take a loan from Citibank. Which one has the better interest? Which one has the better plan package? Which one? Yeah,
terms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which one is better for me? It's the same thing. I always get put in the spot. Not always, because the Slaughterhouse situation didn't advance to this, but I get put in the spot where, I'm gonna front it, and I don't want none. Let's just see if it works. And then when it works, people think differently, and now I think differently. That's the spot I always get put in. Oh, it worked, and this is what you did as soon as it worked. Got it. It's the same way I'm looking at them. This brand, whatever it's worth, this is what you did when you thought it was defunct. It wasn't, but look what you're doing with it. How could y'all ask for equity? You asking for equity over here. You've been late for 5 years in a row, and you don't really come. It's just, those are conversations you're not supposed to have publicly. I understand that part. But I'm also done with convincing people on why ownership is important. But I do keep having fights about it.
But it's a reason why you're having fights.
Because I stand firm in it.
No, it's not just that. I said
Give
this
it to me.
2 weeks ago. Your success on the podcast has given you information. 1. It has also put you in a financial space that you don't necessarily have to succumb to what somebody else that's not in your financial space has to. But I just think the bigger thing is the information piece is the bigger thing. You've gotten a different level of information than most people because they haven't reached whatever level you're on. Remember I made the analogy about levels? Mm-hmm. Like, y'all both start off on level 10. Now you on level 20. And some people be a little resentful, but you looking at 25, they looking at level 11. So y'all see stuff differently.
Yep.
Right? You get what I'm saying? So I think that when you start talking to ownership talk, you're talking to ownership talk from an ownership's perspective because you're an owner. Some people have never been an owner, so they're gonna look at you like you crazy until they own something. Not saying those gentlemen, I'm just giving an analogy.
In general.
You're correct. So I counter that by not doing all of the owner man shit to people that I care about and love, and that's how I end up in the fuck spot. I'm the owner. I'm going to fund. I should recoup certain things after a certain time. Mm-hmm. You might feel like it's not enough for you right now. You're not getting enough. You're doing a lot of work. So I always bypass that in the front. Mistake. In business. Mistake. But because you love people, You do it. Yo, hey, the first check came in. I'm supposed to take something. Go ahead, y'all. Yeah, I'll bust it down later. I'll get mine later. I'll get mine on the back end. Ownership. I'll get mine later. Like, let's make it work first. So, yeah, when you take some of that responsibility off of the person that has to build, you hope that it's a help.
That's a really important point in all of the past 24 months.
Which piece?
And I can't never say it. I can't never say it.
Which piece? The building piece?
Everything that he just said about the fact that I'm willing to front the money, take shorts, whatever it's going to take.
For the success.
Let's get it popping.
In the long term.
And
And that's just instilled in us as like kids, right? Like Nikki was just talking about some shit from she started at Black Boy Joy and Black Boy Magic and how that's still needed as an adult because maybe you skip some of that, right? That's so important because it's the same premise from when you start in a rap group in the hood with your friends. Nobody has anything. Now figure it out. I'm watching my son do it now. He got a team of 5. One of them got a studio in the crib. Guess what? That's where we at. Hey, one got a laptop and he got the program that we need to be able to travel and do it. Guess what? That's where it is. That's what we're doing. Whatever is an asset to us in this crew, you use it.
right.
And you hope that somebody don't get on fuck shit. But the narrative is that Joe gets on the fuck shit. Because Joe is up, Joe's an asshole, Joe's brash, Joe's direct, Joe implodes, Joe fucks up everything in his trail. Yeah, cool, but Joe is also compassionate. Joe also is loving. Joe also understands because he's been there. Joe also will front it. Joe also, there's mad shit that Joe also does that just gets skipped. And when people run out the fucking door, now that situations are better, because Joe has helped to make them better, it's not arrogance, it's just I have helped, I've contributed, then what do you do at that point but cut your ties and cut your losses? Or say, damn, I was hoping that you wouldn't do that, but here we are.
True.
Part of life. Part of life. Now, I don't deal with that part the greatest.
Nah, I was gonna say that's the part that you need to grow.
Bro, all of us damn
I
near
don't
jumped
deal
in
with
like
that
the
well.
I don't deal
Harlem
with,
Boys Choir.
well, because it's a fact, right? And the therapist will say, if I keep saying a breaking point for me is when I feel like and confirm I'm being taken advantage of, and then that continues to happen, and you keep blowing up, well, then the therapist is going to say, well, why do you keep putting yourself in situations where you're taking advantage
You're the
of?
dummy.
And she's right.
No, it's true.
In hindsight, that move is always right. But when you on some human shit and loving shit and just creative shit and let's build it and grow it and split it so we can get close to real value on it, then you have to do things abnormally.
It's also kind of difficult to be. This kind of comes into like the whole world is an LLC Twitter world and shit, but being Joe Budden, the LLC, not that you're LLC, but whatever. Joe Budden, the company versus Joe Budden, the human.
Yes.
It's two different things.
True.
And that's hard for not only you to differentiate, but for
other
people
people too.
around you to differentiate.
That's true.
But certain things need to be done for both of them to grow.
No doubt.
So for the business perspective, and that's what I spoke on, the business perspective is certain things that Joe Budden, the CEO, cannot do.
Yeah.
And then there are certain things that Joe Budden, the individual, still cannot do. Now, sometimes both of those things are running down the same track, and sometimes they're not. So that's the hard part where you have to differentiate between the two. So to him, I'm just going to, my personal shit, I own a construction company.
Right.
Dog, it's times that I take the first draw or the first check or the first deposit, I don't see shit.
Uh-huh.
You get what I'm saying? That's labor, that's material, that's this, that's that, in hopes that when that last check come, most of that is my money.
Right.
That might not be for 4 months.
Right.
That might not be for 3 months. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm busting the money down that I got to fund the project so that we can move along at a good pace. So, but even in that, when my workers feel entitled, I want to curse them out, but I can't because we still got to keep moving for the greater good of the company. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
100%.
you've done that, but then you get to a head where you just go ape shit when the return don't come back.
And that's kind of what I was trying to say. Like, if you could recognize the pattern yourself of, all right, when I get to that point, my explosion where I go ape shit might not necessarily lead to the best consequence. At what point then do you say, you know what?
When you just
maybe
all-
I won't do
when
it
you-
that way.
when you
next
just
time.
when you just
'Cause it
all-
may continue to happen.
when you just all for self.
Nah, it's
When you
a
just
middle.
all, when you all for self. If I just stop considering
No.
other people,
I'm not even saying that.
Then
I'm
that-
saying
then
if
that
you-
would happen.
No. I'm
There
saying
wouldn't be an implosion.
the way you deal with once you see like the fuck shit.
you insulate properly. You have to insulate
true.
properly.
But
Why do you think I brought a contractor on? You have to insulate. I'm telling you, when I put pen to pad, this is all. I'm telling you something. When I put pen to pad, it can get different. But you just have to insulate yourself properly, right? Like we was talking off mic about some of the other people that I admire how they go about things, like the Buffs and the Hoes, and we don't need to name the niggas, but and you say, well, they would never do that. And you're right. They're also insulated properly. And you have to grow to a point where you can insulate properly. True. I have insulated myself with people that either don't understand me or want to hurt me in the long run because of hurt I've caused. And that has to get better. I put myself in situations where I was exposed to things that as a CEO, I shouldn't have been exposed to. I'm trying to be personable, but you can't be personable because you're the CEO, yo. Yeah. And as the CEO, you try to protect people from things that they might not even know is there. Hey, case in point, right? At some point, I felt like once they found out they weren't signed to Spotify and it was just me, I felt like that was a big thing.
Could have been. But a conversation needs to be had at that point. You get what I'm saying?
But at that point, one is had. See, and that's where I'm trying to tell you when you just think, when it's two different sets of how the mind is working, you have the conversation and you say, yo, Spotify wanted every one of your rights for X amount of years, for X amount of compensation. No, I told them no, they can't do that. That means that whenever we make a decision, we make it. You're free. You could go do everything they're doing now. You were free and clear to do while you were on Spotify. That's a big thing. If you don't know it's a big thing, though, then you don't know it. And you could take it like it's a horrible thing. Is this nigga trying to fucking conceal things? Is this nigga trying to fucking do some funny shit over there? Is he getting some money that we don't know? But why he got a deal and we don't got a deal? That don't make sense. No, it makes all the sense. If it makes sense. Again, I am done preaching ownership to niggas who don't want to own. I'm done. Everybody do it the way they want to do it. I see niggas there. It's funny hearing Joe Budden talk about equity now. How? I'm laying out a blueprint.
And not everybody wants to own.
I'm putting on a clinic in how to go ask for it.
Yo, not for nothing. Not everybody wants to own. Some people don't even realize they don't want to own.
And stop saying it.
That's the most important.
That's really what it is.
Yeah,
a lot of niggas don't even realize you really don't. When you realize what comes with being an actual owner, right. It's no different than the renting versus owning a house thing. Yeah. I see a lot of people, I'm going to buy a house, buy a house. Yeah, but when you realize, this broke, you don't call a landlord. Right. That's on you to go get that fixed.
Yeah.
You pay the everything is on you now. And then it's like, oh shit, I didn't realize being an owner came with so much
responsibility.
Yeah. When I'm used to just having somebody else deal with it with a phone call.
I didn't realize being an owner meant that I had to sit behind every expense as they came up in real time. Mm-hmm. The end. We could skip all the preliminary extra fucking talk. And it's water cooler talk for niggas to get out here on these blogs and their socials and say, owner. Mm-hmm. But shut up, yo. Yo, stop it. Everybody ain't built for it. Everybody ain't looking for it.
So I got to tell you myself, you told me to start a podcast. I don't forget how many years ago. Started the show. We did 8 episodes, maybe 6. Nigga, when I started to realize, damn, I got to find a studio. I got to pay for this. Mind you, ain't no money coming in. So this is all out of pocket to build it up to where it could be something. Oh shit, the artwork that got to go out every week, guess what? I got to pay somebody to do that. Oh, I got to pay this too. I got to pay him. Man, I'm cool. Like a lot of people don't realize just what entails with being an owner.
No, I sound good now because of the internet. I mean, I think just pushing people narrative. For ownership is a great thing. Y'all know where I stand on the business acumen, but I think it's a great thing. But if everybody was an owner, nobody would succeed because you wouldn't have any workers. So you need a combination of the two to make society run.
I agree.
You get what I'm saying? Like you need some, but somebody don't want to own. They're not a bad person because they don't want to own. They just don't want the headache or the responsibility or ownership.
I agree,
what
but
I'm
all
saying
this
is
comes
a
up.
lot of-
Stop making the dude that wants to be an owner out to be the bad guy because you don't understand what comes along with
Right.
his role.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Everybody don't
Boy,
really know.
I want to crack your muffin so bad.
The little blueberry muffin?
yeah.
Bring the little minis out.
We have this conversation all the time. Because what we do a lot of times, especially in the black community, is we stick this negative stigma on owners. Whoever's capitalistic or whoever's trying to, you know what I mean, get a bag is necessarily the devil. And that's not true. Just because you preach ownership, that don't make it negative. We got this negative connotation to success in our community sometimes that's associated with oppression. Because the people that have oppressed us have been, quote unquote, successful.
We've been on the wrong side of the
That don't
ownership.
mean that we can't be successful and still be honorable at the same time.
I agree.
They're not.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
It's okay to be both.
agree.
It's okay, like, for instance, you here are a worker, and that's no disrespect.
Not at all. I'm a worker here.
I'm a worker here.
Indeed.
I own other shit.
Exactly.
You own other shit.
Exactly.
It's okay to be both.
But that's easy for me to fall in line as a
You have to
worker
kinda be
here.
both.
Yeah, you do.
Because
you also
because he knows.
in other areas.
I'm a worker.
You're a worker.
Yo, Tupac said, yo, you can't be a general until you are a soldier first.
Yep.
Because you can't properly know how to lead people until you've been led before.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Everybody don't want to do that.
True.
Or like I said, people just running around throwing these titles out there, not knowing what
Because they
comes
sound
with
cute.
it.
No, they
Because it sound cute.
They sound cute today.
Yeah, I want to be an owner. I want to own my own. Yeah, we on black ownership, all of this. But you don't really know what it means
Or
to
you don't
really
want to
be
put
an
the
owner.
work in to be a successful owner. That shit is hard, my nigga.
A lot of niggas don't know the owner's the last one to get paid.
Oftentimes. My nigga, I've come home with...
And I wish people would just come out and say, yo, I have a problem with being the last one to get paid. That would make things so clear. That would make things really clear.
They don't know
that. And wouldn't nobody hold that against
They don't know
They don't
that
know it.
until you there.
And then you find out, oh shit, nah, I don't like wow. This is
You
what
don't
comes
know.
with being an owner.
Yeah,
I
see,
thought it
my-
was just up.
See, my brain is way different. That Spotify deal left, and everybody that was employed wanted a raise.
Because they don't own it. They don't know that.
It goes
That's not
very differently.
That's not an information thing. I think that's a trust thing. I don't think that's an information thing. I don't think that's a lack of knowledge. I think that's a lack of trust.
No, you work at a job for 2 and 3 years. Naturally, you would want a raise. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm saying that falls on the owner. No matter what the circumstance is, world crisis, national pandemic, plandemic, unemployment high.
not how things work.
The sponsor, this deal left, that deal left, and now your main source of revenue is gone.
That's not how it works in corporate
But there's
America.
30 people, 20 people, 10 people, 5 people that want and deserve a raise.
You know what happens in corporate America? They send out a memo that says, your profits are down right now. So as a result of profits being down, raises are on hold. That is what happens in corporate America. But a lot of people that were working for you never been in a corporate workplace before. So it's a lack of information from that standpoint. Nigga, when companies not making money, they don't give out raises in the real world.
The company not taking no L.
I gave a
crazy.
raise to everybody that asked.
You're not listening though.
Word?
You never been in corporate America?
Yes. Yes, I did. You should know. You ran around me 15 days in a row talking about something. Hey, man, y'all give out Christmas bonuses? I took the hint. Your ass never came back and said, yo, good looking.
Good looking, Hakeem.
That nigga ain't say, they ain't say shit.
Yo.
He said, do y'all do Christmas?
Yo.
It's motherfucker. Oh, wait, you got one too? Fuck.
What was up?
Yeah.
Yo,
What's
ho, ho.
But wait,
Word is born.
time out. And those stories won't never get out. But you know why that happens? Because you've been on the other side. You've been a worker.
Yeah.
I know what that's like to go to Sears and it's Christmas time and this check ain't like throw a little more on top of that. It's Christmas
No,
time.
nigga, it's Christmas time. I bust my ass all year. What's up?
And that's correct. That's true if you're thinking about people's morale.
That's true.
So when you think about people's morale each time and then still get fucked, guess what? You're gonna get on Insta Live after a long day and tell somebody that album can suck my dick. But it's not right. And that's part of the Joe evolution.
Yeah.
That's part of the Joe evolution. But again I say, my mistakes is in public.
That's true.
Yeah.
Again, I'm saying that's not a crutch. That's not a cop-out. It's not a scapegoat. It's not a way to avoid accountability. It's just saying there's a microscope on some of these things. Like when Ice came to my house, I'm like, yo, what are you doing? I was like, yo, this ain't the biggest of deals. This ain't, don't act like a family member just died or somebody got hit by a car. This ain't that. Keep things in perspective. This is just a moment we should grow from. Hey, we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't talk to fans. We shouldn't talk live. We shouldn't discuss private things publicly. That's a fact. I'll grow. 41 is not my final form.
Nigga, I got a 6:30 phone call on Saturday morning. I ain't you. That shit is interrupting my sleep.
Nigga, my phone went off Friday night.
Yeah, immediately.
Yo, what the
Group
fuck?
chats,
Come on, dogs. Leave me alone. I ain't been to barbershop yet.
So like Nikki just asked, I have beef with no one. I love all. Love and light. Zenjamin Budden is back. Zen Simmons. Teddy Zendergrass. Public's Enemy. I got all these from my man on Twitter, Ron. I think his name is Ramology, but he's pretty good at that stuff. Yeah, no. Public's Enemy is here, yo.
Oh my God.
What? They don't like when I'm Zenemy.
Lose your buttons. Enough, daddy.